Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's YSS back with another vlog. So get yourself a cup of tea, put the kids away, put them to bed, whatever you do with them. Just make sure that they're in a safe place away from this vlog. Because today I'm going to be talking about why I hate my postnatal body. And there are some images you might not want your kids to see. So today I'm going to be talking about how my self-esteem has been affected by having a baby and by my postnatal body. And I'm just going to be very honest. I'm just going to keep it 100% real and just let you know my journey, where I'm at now, and how I've been working through my self-esteem after having a baby. So you may or may not already know that I have a son. If you're a new viewer, I have a son. He's 2 at the moment. I lose track sometimes, but he's 2, going on 20, and he's got the personality to match. But yeah, it's been a while since I've had him, so these changes are not fresh, but I am going to talk to you about the experiences that I had, just kind of going through being pregnant and then up to having the baby. I mean, the last vlog I did on motherhood, it wasn't a very positive vlog, and I do want to say that if I could do it all again, I would not change a thing. Yes, it's hard, and yes, it's not always easy, and there are things you discover. There are things you discover along the way, but it's just part of what I think in life, every blessing you get is going to come with challenges and things that you have to adjust, let go of. You have to make adjustments to accommodate those blessings, basically. And I feel like motherhood is exactly the same. Most of us women and even some husbands, not all of them, but even some husbands have the desire to have children, and so I'm careful not to make these vlogs too negative, because it's not a negative thing. When you make a decision to have a baby, it's a very big decision, and it's a decision that changes everything. It changes you, it changes your priorities, it changes your life, and so for me, I wouldn't change that. As with most things, and I guess that's why I love vlogging so much, is I would have loved to have had somebody warn me. I would have loved to have had somebody warn me about the journey, and about the things that will change when you do have a baby. So let's talk about my postnatal body. I will be putting some pictures in here, God help me. Mom, I'm sorry. To my brothers, I'm so sorry. My mother-in-law, I'm so sorry. But there are pictures of me in here that you might not want to see, or you might be kind of going like that. Well, that's fine. You can do that. You don't have to watch. But I want to. There's a certain viewer that I'm reaching. I'm reaching those people that are currently in this position where they're kind of going, what has happened to my body? We can't all be like celebrities. We can't all snap back, and have these beach bodies. And to be honest with you, before I had children, I didn't have a beach body anyway. I was kind of like a plumpy size 12 anyway. So I always had shape. I was always very shapely. I would not have considered myself skinny. I think once puberty hit, that was it. I was just Miss Curvy over here in the corner. But yeah, I mean, it was my body. It was what I was always used to. It was what I was familiar with. And firstly, when you get pregnant, obviously you get these massive cobonga boobies. And you're kind of walking around like, wow, like I'm amazing. Like this is like a boob job. Like Pamela Anderson from Barbed Wire, okay? Like, that image comes to my head. Where she's really shapely, and for me that's how I felt when I was, although they weren't as nice as they looked, they felt very sore. I think the biggest change was my breasts at that time, and then obviously the belly. You obviously get this big belly and the big black line. I don't know what it's called, I can't remember what it's called. I might be able to put it up here somewhere. But yeah, so you know, you have that big line that goes down the front, and there was a point where I thought, is this gonna go away? And I've heard that sometimes with mums, it doesn't always go away. I think you just have to accept that this is the price you pay for motherhood, or your stripes, or nature's way of giving you a tattoo, like, you know, initiation into motherhood or something. But what does frustrate me is when you see celebrities going around acting like, you know, they didn't go and get surgery to get that snapback. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, there are mums out there, like I know some personally, that they have amazing bodies after they give birth, and you kind of look at them like, girl, you need to give me some tips, because that snapback was that was a blessing from the heavens, man. So yeah, you know, there are people out there with that, but I just don't believe that everybody's like that. And I've come to a point where I think women we need to be honest with each other. We need to be honest with each other. We need to be able to say, this is what it is. This is my body. This is my new body. I am proud of my new body. I'm not saying that everybody needs to say it every 2 minutes. Honestly, like I was never like that anyway before I had a baby. But at the same time, you know, this is it. I take ownership for this. So yeah, anyway, before I had a baby, yeah, we had I didn't have a washboard stomach. I never had stomach muscles or six pack or anything like that. But my body was mine, and it was lovely, and it was familiar, and it was something I knew. And when you get the bump, you think, yeah, it's great, you're having a baby, that's the focus, you're relaxed, you know, and then you're thinking, well, it's gonna go away. But when I remember the first day I had my son, looking down at my stomach and just seeing, like, it was pointed like this. My stomach was like that. Like it felt like, firstly, like all my organs had come out. But that's in a dramatic way, like not in a painful way. It just felt weird. It felt empty, like my organs were all squashed up, you know. But my stomach was kind of pointy like this, and it was kind of it was a darker colour than it was usually, and the stretch marks. I kind of looked down at it, and I remember my mum being there, and I just looked at it and I just thought, I hate this. I actually hate my body. I actually hate the way I look right now. Yeah, it was a massive change. It was a massive change, and I had to come to terms with the fact that my body wasn't going to be what it was before. And I had to just accept that. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to knock people that do get surgery. If you can afford it and you can get lipo and you can do all the stuff that they do, tummy tuck, whatever, good on you. But if you do that, like, don't lie to people, because it can be quite hurtful when people, and I feel like a lot of times women, we can be very competitive. Instead of saying, I understand where you're coming from and I've been there. Like, honestly guys, like, I would love to get a tummy tuck. I would love to get liposuction and bring my stomach to the place where it once was. And if I ever am able to afford it, why should I lie to you? Like, why should I lie and say, oh, you know, this is how my stomach has always been? No, I'm not competing with anyone. I do whatever I need to do to make me happy, but not to prove anything to anybody. And I think that that's sometimes what happens when you look in the magazines and you see all these mums, they've had babies a week old, 2 weeks old, and you're like, well, you all of you couldn't have had snapback in two minutes. Do you know what I mean? But there is this thing of keeping up with the Joneses, and I mean, I guess that's the pressure of that life. But I do think that there's nothing greater than owning your body and having self-confidence. I, up to recently, and I'm not saying that I don't still have self-confident issues when it comes to my mummy tummy and, you know, the changes that I've had. My boobs, let me say, they just don't sit the same, okay? They just don't sit the same. And my stomach has so much stretch marks. And they're my stripes. Recently, I was talking to a friend and I love her to pieces. I love her response. We were swimming and I wear like full body swimming suits, and she said to me, she said, oh, why don't we come all in our bikinis, us mummies, and just go swimming? And I'm like, no, you're not gonna catch me going swimming in my bikini anymore. Like, I've had bikinis from before I had airs, and they're just gathering dust. And she said, why not? And when she started probing, I just explained to her that my confidence with my tummy had gone downhill since I had my son. And so I like to keep that area covered up. And she was like, no girl, you need to take ownership for your stomach, because you have done something amazing. You become a mum through having those stretch marks. And then she said, for every stretch mark that you have, there's someone out there wishing that they had it. Now, that wasn't a dig at anybody. It wasn't a way of, she wasn't saying, you know, you're better than anyone. What she was saying was that be grateful that you can have children and that you have got your prayers answered, because for some the journey is much more complicated, and that put things into perspective for me, because it made me realize that some of the things that I'm worrying about, some of the things that I put focus on, especially when it comes to my body, it shouldn't be my focus. I shouldn't be sitting there worried about, you know, who's looking at my tummy or whatever. And another thing that's really helped my confidence is my husband. Like, it's neither here nor there whether I have a big fat stretch mark tummy or a nice flat washboard tummy. He likes a person that's attached to it. And for me, that's amazing. And another thing is that my stomach has improved. And if you are a new mum and you are thinking, gosh, my stomach is horrid, it does improve over time. Give it time. Look at your body in the next couple of months, and there are things you can do. There's like these waist shapers and things like that, but I wouldn't really get too hung up on the fact that your body has changed. Yes, I think sometimes you will cry about it. I mean, for me, I think a lot of my hormones were up in the air anyway once I'd just given birth, so just seeing that just made it worse. It's like, I'm done, you know. But just own your body, like embrace your new body. It has given life. It's done an amazing, magical, miraculous thing. It's brought life into the world, and for that I'd have stretch marks all the way from my legs right up to my face. Although I shouldn't speak too soon. But I'm basically just saying that, you know, I've come to embrace it. And I'm not saying that I completely, there are days where I do look and I think, gosh, like, or I wear a dress and it's a bit tight and I'm looking at my stomach and I'm thinking, now someone's gonna think I'm pregnant, you know, because it's just not washboard flat anymore. But like I said, I don't want to make it my focus. So that's it for today. I hope that this vlog has helped you. If you are a mummy and you are kind of on this journey and you're finding it hard, I will be doing a vlog about postnatal depression and how I overcame that. And yeah, just be inspired by it. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye!